As we announced earlier, today is Grace's last day with us here on CI Living, a series she was quite passionate about, the Khach.
Yeah, one of my greatest joys here at WCIA has been getting to help tell the stories of the names and faces of the people that make up this community. From a survivor of the Iranian hostage crisis to those navigating grief, purpose, and motherhood, to a survival story from a child Holocaust survivor. Being entrusted with your stories has been such an honor. Here's a collection of some of the many individuals I got to sit down with. Take a look.
And as we're being captured, we went through the gate, and I remember seeing a wave of people running at us. But I'd never seen people with such hatred in their face. We always say in the Marine Corps, you stand on the shoulder of giants. That, it's taken 250 years to come up with this stellar reputation. Nobody has a right to shorten that pile. I have to be able to say I brought no dishonor. The uniform I wear. And when I get really discouraged, I think about that. You got to make that walk.
When I was 4, my mom was diagnosed with adenoid-cystic carcinoma. It's a very rare and terminal cancer. Right after she turned 50, and 3 days after my 12th birthday, she passed away. That's actually a really good question. What was she? War Eagle.
What would you say to her?
Thank you.
The war in Germany and Poland started September 1st, 1939. That's when the Nazi Germany declared war on Poland. And I was born on September 20th, 1939. And that's where we wound up being placed, which was eventually turned into what was called the Warsaw Ghetto. It's about 2/3 of the people that died of starvation inside the ghetto.
But I considered an abortion when I first found out that I was pregnant, just because I was young. So I'm like, I cannot raise a kid. And I went to a clinic that someone referred to me, and turns out it was a Christian organization. So they gave me a Bible and just prayed with me. And, a woman there, I remember her just fight for me to not go through with my original decision.
Oh, for the rest of the year, I was in surgeries and chemotherapy. I lost all my hair. There is a fair amount of survivor guilt, I will be honest with you. I know I've spent a fair amount of time convincing God that it was a good decision to save me.
When you see a loved one that gets ALS, you become part of that process, because the person that's suffering from ALS literally can't do anything on their own anymore. So you have to become their arms, their legs, their voice. You are everything. Don't sit idly by and say, I'm just going to watch you pass away. Fight it. Fight it with every strength in your body. Fight it.
But at what point did you decide, okay, I need to verbalize this?
Yeah, so I think I started verbalizing things to my husband as early as 6 months. But as a mother, I just knew something was going on, and I just wanted someone to acknowledge that, yeah, maybe things are a little different. I remember just sitting in the parking lot after the appointment and just crying, because there was grief, because here are the things I expected in motherhood. And this isn't something he's going to grow out of.
Just that there's a season for everything.
So good.
So whether you're in a tough season or the best season of your life, expect the roller coaster. But just be ensured that you don't get sucked into the dark times, because light will come, good will come. So just be sure that your foundation is strong, and then nothing can shake you.
So at the age of 17, I have never flown before. I prayed to God. I said, Lord, just helped the airplane not crash. And I'm up in the airplane and landed in America, and here I am in Illinois, of all places. But only 16 months later, we had civil war in Lebanon. And the civil war was very ugly, really horrible. I was disconnected from my parents for months on end sometimes.
For the longest time, I was really ashamed of struggling with mental health. And I just felt like you couldn't speak up about it, and when you did speak up about it, you were kind of looked at differently. Especially being an athlete, there's like an insane pressure put on student athletes. The more people that speak up, the more people you're helping, because if you speak up about what you're going through, it leads other people to speak up about what they're going through and also get the help that they need as well.
But that summer when I had my first mammogram at 32, they found my cancer.
Now, I think it's neat, the whole concept of this is that you saw a need. You know what they say, like, necessity is the mother of invention. Like, you saw a need, and you thought, okay, I have the skill set with somebody else to maybe follow through on this and to fill this gap and become a resource in our community. What would you say to someone who maybe is experiencing a need in our community and thinks, I might have the skill set to do that, but they're a little bit timid in actually taking the leap that you did? What would you say to them to encourage them to become that resource, to take that leap and to go after that?
I think the first thing I would say is never underestimate the power of your own voice.
There's a quote that I love by Morgan Harper Nichols: tell the story of the mountain you've climbed. It could become a page in someone else's survival guide. And I hope these segments have just been sources of encouragement and inspiration for those in the thick of it.
And all of Grace's full stories and those snippets can be found on our website.
Yeah.
I miss you already.
Oh, I miss you already. And I have to say, I appreciate our team so much. We've come together so much in the past couple of months. Jalen, Matthew, Caridia, you, Sylvia, like, it has been such a cool bond that we've created over the last few months. So thank you to all of you.
Well, and keep in touch.
Absolutely.